Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the In the Pocket podcast. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Logan Martin, Xander Cook. I made it back home to Vermont, so it doesn't matter that we're on a break. We are still rolling this through the Christmas week. And speaking of this week, we had a really good slate of NFL games. A lot of contenders for game of the year, honestly, with the Bears and the Packers and the Steelers, Lions, and then of course the Seahawks and the Rams. Just overall a really good week, but I want to start by talking about this game on Sunday Night Football last night with the Ravens and the Patriots. Ravens, if I'm correct, were up 29 or 28 or 29 to 17 at one point, 11-point game, and ended up blowing that lead. And the Patriots were on the other side of that last week, where they were up 21-0 on Buffalo. So they realized and they kind of came together and figured out how to rally back this time against the Ravens, who were without Lamar Jackson for the second half of that game. Um, and I guess we want to talk about sort of the Ravens collapse in that game because I honestly think that's the bigger story. Drake May obviously had a really good game. He threw for 300 plus yards, had 400 total plus yards. But the Ravens were well within that game, and all they had to do was continue the offensive plan that they had. A huge talking point for me in this is the whole fourth quarter. Derrick Henry did not play at all, and I do not know what the reasoning for that is. Um, I mean, guys, do you have any insight on that? Because it just seems like the guy was able to get 7 or 8 yards per carry versus that Patriots defense last night, and it was working all night. And then suddenly they just stopped. What happened?
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea, like that's just a thing that Harbaugh decided not to do. If we were in the locker room, I'm sure we'd know why the reasoning for that is, but like you mentioned, it's a guy averaging over 7 yards per carry against the Patriots defense. He was shredding them all night. Now you're up by 11 points. It's a comfortable lead. Go ahead and run Derrick Henry. Run the clock out. He's averaging 7 yards per carry. That's a first down in two plays. What are you doing? It's just
Uh-oh. Sanders. Um, anyway, Logan, you want to rally off that point, but just 1 second. Derrick Henry, as we were saying, 7.1 yards per carry in that game. And this is a game where Lamar Jackson went out. And if you're Coach Harbaugh, you've got Tyler Huntley in, who honestly did not play bad. He went 9 of 10, 65 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown or anything, but he also didn't have any turnovers. What was the reasoning behind that? You have one star player out. You have to rely on your other star. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all, man. I have a lot of thoughts about this game, and to mention why didn't Derrick Henry play in this fourth quarter? I have no clue because watching this game as a Patriots fan, I felt like if they just kept handing the ball off to Derrick Henry for the next, two or three more drives, you might have put that game away. There was a point where Baltimore was up 7-0, and New England turnover interception in Baltimore territory when we're about to probably get a field goal after that. It was a third and long situation, and I was sitting there watching the game. And I was literally about to say out loud, "All you can do is not turn the ball over right now. We're good with three." What does he do? Throws a turnover. Good play by Humphrey. Terrible play by Drake May. Um, and I thought Baltimore was going to go right down the field and score, and what they did is they got all the way down to New England territory, marched their way down, and then ultimately Henry fumbles the football, his fourth fumble in the year, and just flipped the momentum of the game. For the meantime, there was still points in this game after that fumble where it was a little back and forth. Both teams were making bad decisions. Not to mention the Patriots going for it on a 4th and 10, punting at the 50-yard line. Like that was a horrible call by Mike Vrabel, but one of those situations where, as a fan, like let's get that play out of the way because we learned from that mistake. We're not going to call fake punt at the on 4th and 10 from our own 40 again. That was a bad mistake, but we didn't let that kill us. Drake May, you have to give him props. No matter if he throws a touchdown, he turns it over, he fumbles, throws a pick, whatever, takes a sack, whatever. He is the same guy. He is not affected by the outcome of the football game. He's not affected by the highs and lows. He stays Drake May. So
Yeah.
you got to give him props. You could tell that. You could see that the whole game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And listen, I am not a Chris Collinsworth fan at all. I actually really don't like listening to him talk recently. Like I used to think he was a great commentator. I still think that he's got all the insight and stuff. But with how much he favors some players, he's a little bit annoying to listen to these days. But he did bring up a really good point last night. You look at Drake May, he is unfazed by everything that goes wrong, turnovers, sacks, pressure. It doesn't matter. He was pressured so much last night because that's what they figured would get Drake May off his balance. And you know what? That is the right thing to do. You put some pressure on Drake May, you force those turnovers. That's a really good call by the defensive coordinator over there in Baltimore. But Drake May was so unfazed by it. He kept getting that pressure. He kept his eyes up. He has to move out of the pocket. He used to, in the beginning of this season and last year, look down and immediately look for the running lane. And this year, he's progressed over the year to realize, hey, the play is not over when the pocket collapses. I can escape and look for my options again downfield before I commit to a running lane. And that has resulted in so many play extensions where they get more than just the 5 or 6 yards that they would with Drake May running into the outside and going out of bounds, where they're able to throw it down the field and complete for a first down, which we saw multiple times with Stephon Diggs and Kayshon Boutte and Mac Hollins last night. So his progression as a player overall this year has been awesome, but I think it's the fact that he's not scared and like you said, he doesn't fold under the pressure of having turnovers and having mistakes. He gets his head back in the game and he figures it out.
Yeah, I think that was one of the best performances I've seen from a quarterback inside the pocket facing pressure I've seen in a long time. And Baltimore for the past 4 years has no pass rush, and the fact that they were not getting to Drake May because Drake May was sneaking out, stepping up in the pocket making plays, but he avoided some pretty you want to say a sack percentage potential, like 95, 96% chance of that being a sack. He escapes somehow, makes a play. It's crazy.
There's one play where he had Jones draped on his back, and he still just kept his eyes forward, saw Stephon Diggs, and launched that ball
It's
and got it to him.
it's like
It,
he anticipates it and kind of manipulates the defense to go a certain way and then anticipates it and steps up or moves a certain way and avoids it. It's crazy.
when a quarterback steps up, in a guy like him, especially you as a defender, defensive back, linebacker, you're thinking, got to stop him from getting the first down on his legs. And that opens up options down the field. And the elite quarterbacks in this league are able to recognize that. You look at guys like Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, they're all capable of that. And now you're seeing Drake May start to make those leaps and bounds this year in just his second year. It's quite impressive. Xander, you are back from your Zoom crash. So if you want to pick back up where you left off.
No, I don't actually.
You don't. Okay. So you're all good on the Patriots, Ravens, nothing
Yeah.
else. Okay.
Well, what I had to say was in the moment. Now that it's past and we're on to Drake May, it's like, why even bother?
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, so the Patriots get back and they win 28-24, move to 12-3. Baltimore falls to 7-8, and these next two games for Baltimore are huge, and they're going to need some help from the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of losing to have a shot at getting into the AFC playoff race this year. Patriots, all they have to do is win next week, and they win the division.
I want to bring up, Stephon Diggs, man, he's the number one wide receiver. When you use him, they pick their spots with Stephon Diggs, and he has stepped up. The guy's been, just like old Stephon Diggs, just in Patriots form. He might be in his 30s, but he playing like he young, and he's still a number one receiver in my opinion. And not to mention Kyle Williams. I've been saying for weeks that man needs to be playing more. Like we need him more man-to-man situations. We can put bunch formation on one side and on the other side, let's just run a fade route with Kyle Williams, and that's going to be there 50% of the time because of his speed. And you saw in that play his ability to track the football. It was insane. What a catch!
Yeah. Impressive win from the Patriots again. A win next week seals the division, unless right? Yeah. moving on, another game that was I marked as one of the games of the week would be the Jaguars and the Broncos. That it was a fantastic game. And the Jags come out on top, and this game was not really that close in the second half. Obviously, the first half, these two teams were close, but then the Jaguars came out on a different level in that second half. And just Trevor Lawrence was able to pick that defense apart. Five straight drives to open up with scores, and whether it was a field goal or a touchdown. And guys, I my biggest thing in Denver, their winning streak, 11-game winning streak was snapped. That is a big thing. Um, guys, Trevor Lawrence finally has a competent head coach, a solid team around him, and a good offensive coordinator who can make the correct play calls. And here he is flourishing with the Jaguars. And that's something that honestly I didn't believe in. I feel like sometimes I get down on quarterbacks after seeing them, but it's been 4 years of Trevor Lawrence not really being that guy. And I started to kind of really lose hope for him. Uh, man, when he's set up for success, he will bring you success. And that's exactly what he has done this year. You know, even through this season where it seems like after they went 4-1 and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, after that they kind of had a slump there for a little bit. Guess what? Trevor Lawrence gets that team back behind him. Liam Cohen gets that team back behind him, and they're back off to the races. They are leading the AFC South right now, and they have a very good chance to win it at this point. And they just beat one of the best teams in not only the AFC but the NFL in general, one of the best defenses. Um, and my question to you guys, and this was something that you put as your talking point, Xander, are the Jaguars the most complete team in the AFC, or are they just peaking at the right time?
Personally, I think they're peaking at the right time. I still think that there are maybe two AFC teams that are more complete than them, or maybe just one AFC team that's more complete than them. But they're peaking at the right time. They started off hot, then they started to get cold in the middle of the season. Now they're back hot again, and a lot of that is due to the defense making plays when they need to. They're forcing the takeaways. It's interceptions, it's forced fumbles, it's pass deflections, it's turnover on downs. So the defense is getting it done on their end. And then you look at the offense. Trevor Lawrence is having the best season of his career, and all credit goes to Liam Cohen for that. Last season, Cohen was the offensive coordinator for Baker Mayfield. Baker was one of the MVP candidates throughout the year. And now that Cohen is out of Tampa, Baker's not that MVP candidate anymore, and Trevor Lawrence is. So all credit to Cohen there. He untapped Lawrence's confidence for sure. And all Lawrence needed throughout his NFL career was that confidence, and he finally has it 4 years in, and it's because of his head coach. Um, he's got the receivers with him. It's Brian Thomas Jr., it's Jacoby Myers, it's Washington. And then he also has ETN in the backfield. So they are a well-rounded group. They can make plays when they need to. And we saw it yesterday against Denver. They just made the right decisions, the right play calls. Trevor Lawrence knew where to throw the ball. It was just really special to watch. I mean, you just ended Denver's 11-game winning streak, and then you ended Denver's home record. They hadn't lost a home game in over a year, so that just got ended. Now the Jaguars are 11-4, still first in the division, and can ultimately win that division. It's just crazy to think that the Jaguars, come playoff time, they can be that lethal team. They could be that dark horse. And I don't even want to say dark horse anymore because I do take them seriously at this point. So it's just a lot of credit goes to them. And my question is, actually, it's not even a question, it's more of a statement. I don't think Denver's defense is the best in that division.
Whose is?
I got to go with the Chargers. I
Hell
think the
no.
Chargers defense at this point, I think their defense is better than Denver's.
Oh man.
Yeah, steaming hot take, Logan, but I want to hear your thoughts. Complete team or just getting hot at the right time?
No, they're complete team, man. They're just like the Patriots, where you look at every spot on that team and what's a glaring weakness? Give me a glaring weakness of that team. Probably Trevor Lawrence throwing an interception, but he hasn't been doing that lately. He's been playing really good.
I think the offensive line could be better.
No, they've been playing really pretty well, man.
I mean, look at these last few
He's
games, how
been
much Trevor Lawrence has had to be on the run, though.
right, but that doesn't seem to have an impact on the game. You play a team like the Broncos, and if your offensive line's an issue, against a team like the Broncos, that's going to be an issue, and that just didn't seem to be an issue that game. They just found a way to make yards. Trevor Lawrence made plays on his feet. Um, he's just playing out of his mind right now. He's playing MVP type football, but he's just been playing hot lately. So he, I think Liam Cohen took that job for a reason, and he knows why he took that job. And we probably didn't see it because we've all seen, Trevor Lawrence of years past, and he hasn't lived up to the number one overall pick, all that hype. So Liam Cohen saw something in him, just like Ben Johnson saw something in Caleb Williams and took a risk because no one else could really develop them the right way and felt like they could do it the right way, and they have done it the right way. You've seen both quarterbacks play a lot better with their new head coach. So, both organizations, the Bears and the Jaguars, great job getting their head coach for a quarterback. But in terms of the Jaguars, man, they're just like the Patriots. They're in the same boat.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that they are a well-rounded team, as Xander said. I do think that that offensive line, not terrible by any means. I think that they are not the greatest unit though, and I think that like even versus the Jets last week, Logan, we had multiple plays where Trevor Lawrence is having to scramble out of the pocket because the pressure just gets there so fast. And the Jets don't have a terrible defensive line, but Quinnen Williams isn't there anymore. So I think that that's something that I don't think will hurt them in the long run because it's not that bad. But to say that they're the most complete team in the AFC, I wouldn't go that far. However, I had another question more relating to the Broncos guys. We have now seen what Bo Nix looks like, and we've seen it a few times with the Giants, right? Where he comes back and he has all that, but he just faced a situation where he was down big and needed to be clutch against a good playoff caliber team, and he made many mistakes. That throw to the left that he thought was supposed to be a hook route, where they miscommunicated, and he threw that interception. That ball should have never been thrown. I think that there was several mistakes made by Bo Nix that is kind of telling of where how what's the word, how dangerous his play style can be in not such a good way come
I mean, but
clutch time against good teams.
this is just the wrong team to do that against. Like, the Jaguars have been forcing turnovers all year. So I agree with what you're saying. Like, there are times Bo Nix gets a little trigger happy with throwing the football, and in a lot of cases it works. But in games like this against the Jaguars, where you just need to put possession together and find a way to get points and not turn the ball over, because the Jaguars, their record's their record because they force turnovers and they do what they do with them. So, yeah, interesting. It was a good point they brought up. Bo Nix had to be a little bit more conservative in a game like this.
I mean, I heard Joe Theismann talking about it on ESPN radio today, and he's just like, you can't exactly, you can't get trigger happy, you can't get caught up in the moment and get too hot-headed and nervous in those types of moments and try and go for the deep ball every time. You've got to take your time getting down the field. What you got to accept you got to live for the next down, right? You've got to throw those 4 or 5 yard passes over the middle and move on to the next down and hope that you get the first with your next 3 plays. And I think Bo Nix kind of struggled under the pressure against a really good team. And I don't think that he's incapable of being clutch in those moments. We've seen it against the Giants, but he got tested yesterday and it didn't go in his favor. So the Broncos know what they have to work on moving forward. Xander, you have
Well,
anything?
I want to bring up one more thing after you want to go, Xander.
What?
You got something? If not, I want to talk about something real quick.
There you go.
I just want to talk about the Jaguars a little bit, man. Offensively, great numbers, and then defensively, Xander brought up the Chargers being a better defense than the Broncos, so I had to go to my spreadsheet and I had to look up the numbers. Statistically, by a slim margin, and you can make a case it's pretty dead even. Both defenses are pretty even, but the Chargers have an edge statistically. But you go to the Jaguars, even better, even better. The Chargers allow 23 points a game. Chargers allow Jaguars allow 20. They only allow 315 yards a game. Chargers allowing 345. Jaguars allowing 5.1 yards a play. Chargers 5.4. Like, this Jaguars defense is not getting the credit it deserves. Like at home, they're allowing 16 points a game. Like this defense and offense, like both sides playing really well, man. This Jaguars team's gonna be, you're gonna have to look out for them in the playoffs. You know, their wide receiver core set up: Jacoby Myers, BTJ, um, and Parker Washington. Let's talk about him, man. Well, he's been balling. He's been flying under the radar. He's been balling. And Brenton Strange is one of my favorite tight ends. Wicked athletic. But yeah, go ahead. This Jaguars team, man, they're gonna be set up. Liam Cohen's the right guy. Duval.
Xander, anything else? Are you ready to move on?
Ready to move on.
All right, let's get to your team, man. Steelers versus Lions, and that was quite the game. Watching that one with my dad yesterday, and I when we saw the score tied at 3-3 at almost halftime, we were like, "Oh man, this is gonna be a snooze fest, right?" And then both teams score before the half. Kenneth Gainwell with that insane catch and score on defensive pass interference to tie the game up at 10 going into the half. Is it fast forward to the fourth quarter, and that game gets real interesting. The Steelers are up 20. No, it was the Steelers that were up 29-17, not the Patriots. So what I said earlier, take that back. It was an 11-point comeback for the Patriots, but the Steelers were up pretty big in that game versus the Lions. Lions come back and score. Steelers have an opportunity to extend the lead to 8 with a field goal, a short field goal, and they miss it. They hit the doink. And it gives Jared Goff a chance to go down the field. And man, he did get down that field. And they thought that they scored with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Flag comes in, and it's offensive pass interference. And that one I 100% agree with. That was 100% a pass interference play flag. He runs right into the guy. It was a contact pick. Defender never had a chance to make a play on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Go forward a few more plays. Amon-Ra catches the ball, tosses it back to Jared Goff. He gets into the end zone, but again, offensive pass interference. And I'm not saying that I disagree with the penalty, but was that, I mean, it's just so hard because the game relied on this penalty, right? It was a game deciding penalty. That push, what do you guys think? Is that offensive pass
100%.
interference?
Bias or not, that was 100% an offensive pass interference.
100%.
He full on extended his hands, shoved Ramsey. Yeah, it was a good sell job by Ramsey, but you look at Amon Ra's arms, it's fully extended. It was a clear shove,
And
knocked Ramsey back a
I
little.
watched Kayshon Boutte get called for an offensive pass interference. He barely did anything.
hold
Exactly.
on, rewind. Right back to the Ravens game, just really quick. That play where he literally got tackled
Yeah, bro. That
is
was
so pass interference, and it was not called. Anyway, back
ball
to
don't
the
lie situation though.
My
dead
my
ass.
the thing I was more pissed about, thank God the refs got it right. Pass interference, negated the touchdown, game over because it was the offense I committed the penalty with no time remaining.
Right.
That beautiful call, that's how it should have went down. I was more pissed off at the fact that the lateral shouldn't have happened in the first place. Forward progress was stopped. The refs blew a whistle and they still fucked up and said, touchdown Lions, but there's an offensive pass interference. No, there was no fucking touchdown because there was a whistle blown for forward fucking progress. Excuse my
Was
language,
the
but I
whistle
am
blown?
heated about that.
Was
Yes,
the
there's a whistle blown.
I didn't hear it, but I was also
There's
not.
one whistle. It was I heard a whistle, forward progress. He was stopped at the one, carried about to the 6 yard line. Like, come on, dude. You gotta be kidding me.
Regardless, I think I'd agree
Regardless,
with you. I think I'd agree with
we
you that
still won.
it
So
it pass interference. You're right. The arms, if he just put his arms out a little bit and Ramsey sold it and they could tell, then you could maybe make the argument. But he did have his arms all the way out, pushed them
exactly.
back, and created that space for himself. And credit to those other, I'm blanking on who it was, the other two defenders who were right there to stop that forward progress and keep him out of the end zone. Who were the do you remember who the backs were who stopped him at the line?
It was Joey Porter and Jalen Ramsey.
Ramsey came back into the play. Yeah,
Hmm.
it just incredible defense at the goal line against one of the league's premier receivers to stop him right there. And you got to give credit to the Steelers team, man. Look, Xander, I don't know how you feel because you've been saying I just want them to lose so that they fire Tomlin, but you're in a position to win the North right now. Go back to the playoffs, maybe have a chance to win a game, but maybe we won't go that far.
No,
Bro,
I've always been disagreeing with Xander on the firing Tomlin thing. You can go back and find a video where I was supporting Tomlin. I've been a
for
Tomlin
what?
backer.
Supporting him for what? Hiring incompetent
Do you
coordinator?
know how hard it is to put together that many consecutive winning seasons with an NFL team with the
Look at
rosters that he's had? Look at some of the rosters he's had.
Well,
okay,
congratulations
yeah,
on top, like above average mediocrity, like mediocrity.
So
exactly. And then like with
I
okay,
could name
and then
20
you can
teams
make
that
the
would like
argument.
Mike Tomlin as their head coach. I can name 20 teams that would want Mike Tomlin as their head coach right now.
Go
Probably
for
even
it.
more.
Take Tomlin. Take
Name
Tomlin.
them all.
Not
Name
winning
them
a
all
playoff
right
You want
now.
me to
game.
name them
Take
all?
him.
Do you want me to name them all? Hold on.
Yes.
I don't give a crap who wants Tomlin. Take him. Take him off our hands. He's not winning a
The
playoff
New
game.
York Jets,
He
the
hasn't won
Dallas
a playoff
Cowboys, the
game.
New York
He
Giants, the
hasn't.
Philadelphia Eagles, the
Okay.
Washington.
I
No, probably not
you want to
Washington.
know something?
The
Mm,
Good
Eagles and
for
not
those teams.
Washington?
Those teams want Tomlin. Good for them. You're
Atlanta,
not going to do
Carolina, New
anything with him.
Orleans, Tampa Bay, Arizona.
None of that matters, bro. He's not winning a
Raiders,
playoff game with
Chiefs,
them. Chiefs, you're
Chiefs?
freaking
Titans.
crazy. Get out of
I
here.
think Andy Reid is in the same situation as John Harbaugh. They need to go find a new home.
No,
They say,
Andy Reid just came off of three straight Super Bowls, bro.
Bro,
Tennessee
Lay off
Titans,
the lean, bro. Lay off
Indianapolis
the
Colts,
henny.
Logan's just
Oh,
mad
Cleveland
he's gotta
Browns,
have his
market,
Cincinnati
wear
bro.
Bengals,
Logan's just
Baltimore
mad his kid's
Ravens.
gotta
Want to
wear
know
a
All
something
helmet
like
funny
here.
Mike
about
Tomlin
Cincy
as their
too?
head
You want to know
coach.
something about Cincy? Zach Taylor made a Super Bowl. Go figure. That's hilarious.
I would
That's
take Mike
hilarious.
Tomlin over Zach Taylor.
And Zach Taylor made a Super Bowl in
Would you take Zach Taylor over
2021.
Mike
Guess what?
Tomlin?
Doug,
Would you
Guess when the
would you
last time Tomlin made a Super Bowl? 2010. Oh, who were his coordinators? His coordinators were hired by Bill Cowher, Bruce Arians, and Dick LeBeau, two future Hall of Famers. Since they retired, who has Tomlin hired? Freaking nobody's. Todd Haley, he runs a pitch play on a crucial fourth down against the Jaguars. He's been running pitch plays. Slants didn't exist under him. Randy
Matt
as
Canada.
offensive coordinator, hiring in-house. Yeah, go for it. Oh, guess what? We're one of the bottom offensive teams in the league under him. Oh, hiring Matt Canada because your son went to college for him. Oh, guess what? The worst offense in the league. Oh, now you hire Arthur Smith, who just got fired by Atlanta because he doesn't utilize his
It's not
players.
even Arthur
Oh,
Smith's offense, it's Aaron Rodgers' offense.
yes. Now that we have Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't take shit from Arthur Smith. He doesn't take shit from Mike Tomlin. He's running the offense, and we're finding success. Thank you, Aaron. Look at the defense. Defense statistically should be one of the best on paper throughout the entire season. That is Tomlin's A game because he's a defensive minded coach, and our defense has sucked for most of the year. He hires Terrell Austin. By the way, Terrell Austin was the defensive coordinator for the Bengals. He was the defensive coordinator for the Lions. Guess what they did on defense while he was their defensive coordinator? Nothing. They were bottom 10 in the league, bottom 5 in the league under him. Oh, you know what, Terrell Austin? I think you are going to fix our defense. No, dude. He hires
No.
idiots
No,
every
Mike Tomlin is a culture setter,
time.
man. He's a culture setter.
Okay,
That's what you need
great,
as a head
great.
coach.
Congrats, man.
Culture established. Win
He
a
had
playoff
Mason
game.
Rudolph as a
Win a playoff
quarterback
game.
and had a winning
Win a
season with
playoff
Mason
game.
Rudolph as
Win a
a quarterback.
playoff game. He is mediocre,
And
Mike.
You
Doug
guys are
Peterson won
tripping.
a Super Bowl,
You're
You guys are
bro.
tripping.
tripping.
Like,
Mediocre,
25
Mike.
people, 25 teams would love to have Mike Tomlin as their head coach.
And by the way, good job to those 25 teams. Have him. You're not winning a playoff game. He's mediocre, Mike.
I'm standing
Worst
10
clock
toes on Mike
management in the
Tomlin, man.
league. He has one of the worst clock management in the league. His challenges suck. Every time he's used a challenge flag, he's lost. I can't even remember the last time he's won a challenge. And there's been times he threw a challenge flag. It's like, why on earth would you throw that challenge flag? That you're giving away a timeout, dude. He's just saying the same crap over and over again. It's word salad. Oh, I can't give you all the ingredients to the hot dog. What the hell does that mean, dude?
He
What does
passed
that
Bill
mean?
Belichick for most consecutive winning seasons. Like that's hard to do, bro. I'm
Okay,
sorry. That's hard
give
to
me
do.
a playoff
It's
win.
hard to do. It's really hard
Okay,
to do.
you're a great regular season coach. Everyone, Mike
Okay.
Tomlin,
Do you think
great
the
regular
Steelers
season
do you
coach.
think the Steelers are going to win a
So
playoff
proud
game
of
this year?
him. He
Do you
is
think
the Doc Rivers of the NFL.
oh,
do you think the Steelers could win a playoff game this year? Let's look at the playoff
No,
picture.
absolutely not.
I think they're currently slated to play the
The
uh
Chargers, who we
Chargers
lost.
right now.
We
Yeah,
had 3 points until the final minute, bro. No, we're not gonna win a playoff.
you could compete with the Chargers. I'm trying
Well,
to
you
make a
can
playoff
Say that
run.
with a
they
straight
can
face.
compete with anybody, but playoff time is different, man. And Mike Tomlin has proven
If they
time and
played
time
in
again
if they
that he
played in
cannot
Los
win those big
Angeles,
games.
if they played in Los Angeles,
If they
it's a
play in
Steelers home
Pittsburgh, we
game.
lose. We lost to Cleveland in Pittsburgh. We lost to
Yeah.
Jacksonville in
I
Pittsburgh.
think you guys will get to I think you guys will get to Justin Herbert. I think you guys are playing good right now on defense.
We got to Justin Herbert in our last matchup, and he still dropped 25 points. We scored 10.
You got
10.
you guys just played elite defense against the Detroit Lions, man, until the last part of that
Elite,
game.
elite. The secondary's injured. That
Against
was
the Detroit Lions, I thought Jameson Williams was going to torch you guys. I thought he was going to cook you guys on one-on-one coverage. He's faster than any of you guys have at DB.
Oh, our defense. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I thought our defense was gonna get shredded. I'm
Yeah.
shocked. I'm
In
shocked.
the week before that against Miami, you guys like
That one,
people are trying
it's
to back
cold
Miami
weather.
because they don't. Yeah.
I ain't gonna say anything about that Miami game.
Oh,
I knew we were gonna get after
all
them.
right. Real quick, DK Metcalf. It was a story on Sunday about him. Supposedly, according to him, racial slurs and vulgar comments about his mother were thrown out, and he goes and by a fan, and he goes and throws a punch in this guy's face. The guy's claiming that that did not happen and that all he did was say his full name out loud, which he did not like. Whichever side of the story you want to believe, it's not appropriate for DK Metcalf to do that, and I think that he gets hot-headed, and it proved just there it is again. It's him reacting on impulse, and consequently, he's suspended for 2 games. Without him for the next 2 games, should the Steelers be worried?
Yes.
Yeah.
Offensively, yes. Offensively, yes. He is our second best receiver right now because number one is Kenneth freaking Gainwell. Go figure. So now we're down DK. We're gonna have to make Adam Thielen our wide receiver one, or MVS our wide receiver one, or even Calvin Austin our wide receiver one. It's not gonna be good. Not gonna be good. I don't know. I mean, the passing game might have some success because it's still Aaron Rodgers. He's dealing this season. But we're gonna have to lean more on the ground game to get going. We're gonna have to lean more on Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. And I think we can because Jalen Warren just ran for 143 rushing yards and a couple scores against Detroit. He's been pretty decent all year. He can go off for those long yardage plays. And then Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield, he has over 63 catches on the year. So I don't know, but we're going up against Cleveland and Cleveland. We're going up against Baltimore and Pittsburgh. It's two divisional opponents. The AFC North
I
is
think you win both
upside.
games.
I think we beat the Cleveland Browns. I don't
Ravens are
know.
dysfunctional.
I agree. I agree with that, but you never know. We tend to either sweep them or we split the Ravens. Same thing with Cleveland. Actually,
This ain't the same Ravens though, bro. You guys are gonna kill them. I
even
think you guys are gonna get them. Is it at home or in Baltimore?
it's at home.
Yeah, you guys are getting them. No questions. I get you. I pick you guys on the road too.
All right. Before we close out for the night, I want to talk about the AFC or the NFL playoff picture right now. And it's very interesting. You look at the NFC, and 6 of the spots are already clinched by teams. The Seahawks currently hold the 1 seed, Bears at 2, Eagles at 3, Rams at 5, and the Niners at 6. Open spots are the 7 and the 4 right now, with the Panthers currently leading the NFC South after that big win over the Buccaneers yesterday. And then they will who do the Panthers play next week? Big team. I
They played San Fran.
Tampa,
Oh wait,
Tampa
no, they
Bay,
already played San
yeah,
Fran.
yeah,
Never.
yeah.
Tampa
They
Played
Bay, Week
Tampa Bay the last
16.
game of
Oh
the
yeah, no. I was looking at some. I was looking at the wrong graphic. Tampa
Tampa Bay
Bay.
plays a tough team next week.
Um,
Uh,
Tampa's playing Miami.
I can kind
oh,
of.
who do the Bucks play?
Tampa's
Carolina
playing
plays the
Miami.
Seahawks. Ooh,
Okay. Yeah, so big implications for both of those teams, but ultimately this game could or this division could come down to week 18 where these teams face again. But the Panthers lead it right now, and then the 7 seed right now is the Packers, and in the hunt, the Lions are outside at 8, Buccaneers are outside at 10. Um, And the Vikings currently hold a higher seed than the Buccaneers, but are eliminated from contention, which is an interesting statistic. But then you look over at the AFC, where only two playoff spots are clinched. The Broncos and the Patriots, the 1 and 2 seeds right now. Buffalo, Jacksonville, and LA can all clinch tonight with uh, a
Colts
Indianapolis
lost.
Colts loss, which so far looks like might be the case. Um, but still,
It's a tie game at 14 right now.
is it? Did Philip Rivers throw another one?
Yeah.
He did.
Holy. Okay, so not a for sure thing then. Uh, but then you look at the in the hunt, Jaguars currently holding 3, Steelers at the 4, and then your wild card teams in order are Chargers, Bills, Texans. And honestly, I don't see the AFC changing all that much. I think those are the teams that will ultimately make it. Um, I don't see the Colts making it. I don't see the Ravens making it.
No. I think
Those
the AFC is exactly like it is. I think maybe one or two of those seeds
they can
might
slide. The seeds can slide for sure.
exactly. But in the NFC, do we know how long Jordan Love is going to be out for?
It was just a concussion, so they're hoping he'll be back next week.
Okay, if he isn't back for their game, I think they play Minnesota this week, yeah.
Yeah.
If he isn't back for that game, I'm going with the Vikings dub. So that 7 seed
Well, that
comes down
opens
to
things
week
up for the
18.
Lions.
It comes down to week 18, and if the Lions win this week, that week 18 is Detroit versus Green Bay. Just saying. Oh wait, no, it isn't. I'm tripping.
Yeah, Detroit and Green Bay already played twice this year.
Who the hell would Green Bay play? Oh wait, Green Bay's playing Baltimore this week. I'm an idiot. Yeah, never mind. Green Bay 7 seed.
Um,
They're gonna be Baltimore.
so, Logan, are you in agreement that basically all the teams in right now are pretty much locked? That's what those playoffs are going to look like.
Yeah, yeah, I think this past week with those divisional matchups were pretty huge, and now seeing that Baltimore is in the shape that they're in, I think that's pretty much seals it, I'd say. And
Yeah.
So
with Detroit
do we
losing too.
think that
Detroit too is a big
Carolina
one.
do we think Carolina wins that division? Because I think Tampa beats Miami and Carolina lose to Seattle. That final game is Tampa, Carolina again. This time it's in Tampa.
I don't know if I trust Baker
Tampa's not looking
Mayfield
that
in that
good right
offense
now.
right now. Bryce Young is hot right now.
Hmm.
He is going crazy, man. And we talked down on this man's name, and he's made us eat our words.
Yeah, 100%. But I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that, and I've seen it time and time again, home field advantage matters in the NFL.
It sure does. It'll be interesting to see. Any final thoughts?
Don't get me wrong. I prefer Carolina in the playoffs. I think they're a much more fun team to watch than Tampa.
Logan, any final thoughts? No? All right. Well, with that, that is the In the Pocket podcast, our early episode this week. Make sure to check back in later this week. Fellas, we'll have to find a good time to record that with Christmas and everything. But we do wish you all a happy holiday, whatever you guys celebrate. It's make it a happy week. Watch some good football. There's some good football on Christmas. Um, and it should be an interesting week 17 as well, but we will preview that for you guys before that time comes. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you prefer listening to your podcast, we are now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can follow there. You can subscribe here. Make sure to follow our channels on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date. But with that, thank you guys for all the support recently. It means a ton to all three of us. But for right now, we'll let you go. Have a good night. Enjoy your holiday.